back to my channel, and you are watching Art Talk, where we pretty much just chill together while you watch me paint. This time around I am doing a self-portrait with my Arteza watercolor set. It has been a while since I've done like a self-portrait. I'm pretty sure I did not show you guys the last self-portrait I did, but that one was through like acrylics, and I think it's important every once in a while to do, if you're an artist, to do a self-portrait every once in a while. One, for me personally, it's because I need practice painting and drawing people, and I am my most cheap model, so there you go for one. And the next is just so, I don't know, it's sort of like your own little personal drawing journal entry. If you have like an art journal where you like draw your feelings, it's a self-portrait every once in a while, for me personally, is a good way to, one, kind of see where you are at with your skill level in like artistry and everything, and also just subconsciously sort of how you see yourself. This particular time, for this self-portrait, to get my reference photo, I took a video of myself and then found the one frame within that very short video that I liked how I looked the most, and then I just took that reference picture and then turned it black and white so I can get a good idea of mostly just my values, like the shadows and everything, and my pose. So that's basically what I was focusing on this time. The other reason I wanted to do a self-portrait is because this has been officially a year since I started my hair lock journey. If you don't know, I do have locks within my hair. It was a decision I kind of like was thinking of like all of last summer. Not this last summer of 2021, but the last summer of like 2020. And I was just like, you know what? I think it would look really good if I did it right. So I'm just going to do it. And then it's a lot of care throughout the entire year. I still have a way to go before they're technically, quote unquote, mature. I can't remember. Before they're back in their like full adult stage. I think I have another like 3 to 6 months for that, just because my hair texture is a lot softer than most curly hair. But yeah, so what I'm doing right now, I'm mostly just getting, the purple is all of the undertone. I used a very warm purple for my underskin tone, just because I thought red would be like way too much, and also the browns that I have within my palette are too warm for something like that. So putting purple underneath and then having the brown as like my actual skin color will really mellow everything out. Purple and brown are complementary a little bit, just because brown has all of those other colors that purple doesn't, so you know, they like balance each other out. I'm not too warm unless I've been in the sun for like a full-on week, but I don't do that normally, so I just decided to tone down my skin color a little bit by having purple as my first layer color. And then everything after that is pretty much layering to keep shadows dark and everything. This technique that I'm doing is really more of like a glazing layering effect, just so I can keep my dark shades the darkest and my lighter shades the lightest. Oh, I see I'm already getting into those brown tones. But yeah, so this was pretty much just like my own little personal project that I wanted to do. This is probably going to be my new profile picture for most of my social media and everything, just because I really liked how it came out so well. And yeah, I don't have a lot more to say about why I'm doing a self-portrait. I like how it came out. If you want to stick to the very end to see how it came out, I really like my process that I did this time around. If you can't notice, I'm working on a 5x7 hot press watercolor paper, and I'm using the tiniest brushes that I have. Really, the size 8 round brush is the biggest one that I used at all for this, just to get the wash of my skin tone down. Excuse me, I don't know what's wrong with me today. My allergies are going everywhere. But yes, so I cheated because I'm working on tiny paper, and tiny paper for me is easier to work with than giant paper. So there's one little cheat for me. But also, like, the zoom in for this is not bad at all. I really like it. And I love how this brown and purple just work together so much. When I was younger and I knew nothing about fashion, I knew, for one, that I liked having purple and brown together, and boom. Yeah, so fade back. That was a little technical mistake from my computer. I forgot that I had my laptop unplugged while I was recording, and it turned itself off in the middle of a recording, and that is what happens when you record and you forget to plug in your laptop and it dies on you. It's still technically recorded, but it was just, it was a still image. It didn't want to work anymore. So past the last faux pas, this is pretty much it. I know I've said in my last video, which I believe was the vlog video, it has to be, that this month I was going to absolutely only focus on my business side of doing art and like promote things like on my Etsy store, which I am. You can't judge me this time. I held up my promise. I have a sale going on my Etsy shop for the entire month of September. It ends on the 30th. Everything on my store is 30% off. There's a link in the description down below if you want to check anything out. There's handmade watercolor paper, watercolor prints, acrylic abstracts, everything you can find on there. The next video coming up, it's not even half, okay, it's halfway through the video, but like, I'm telling you now, the next video that's going to come up for this month will be next to my Redbubble shop account. I'm going to be putting up some stickers, and you'll be watching me make those and the whole process of that. So look forward to that in the future if you want to subscribe to my channel to keep up with everything that I'm doing. But tangent aside, I know I said this month I was going to focus on my art business, and while that is still true, and this one is not going to be up for sale because that's really weird to just sell self-portraits of, like, portraits of myself. I thought it would just be really nice. I felt it was time, one, because, it's been a year and this is like my official sort of look now. But then I thought that sort of has to deal with my art business. Everything when it comes to business online is all about staying close to your brand, and fortunately and unfortunately, my face, my image, who I am, is my brand that I have to have here online, and that's just a part of it. So I am updating my official brand look for myself. This is how I'm justifying doing a self-portrait instead of other businessy art stuff for you guys. Wow, there's just a purple. I'm sorry, I'm just getting mesmerized. Once again, I've had to edit this like 5 different times for myself so I can condense it just this much. But like the purple and the brown going together with this watercolor is just so pretty to me. The purple underneath, because I'm glad, okay, I purposely did a warm purple for the undertone because I have warm undertone skin, and the warm purple just underneath this brown really gives like a depth to everything. I really think the values for this painting were exactly how I wanted it to be. Like, I remember all these like past few videos I've saying I need to work on value, and having a black and white reference for your photos. If I'm teaching you guys anything for this video, it's have a black and white reference photo when you're painting anything, because that will really that will force you to see the values within the painting that you want to do. It's just, I can't recommend it enough, and I am so proud of this painting that I did. Just, ooh, okay. So now that we are done with my skin tone and I can stop raving about myself, we're getting into like the little nitty gritty details of this painting, which is mostly just my dress. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say about that. I don't know what else to really talk about. I feel it's very weird that I've talked about myself. Okay, so let me think. If I'm done talking about myself, if I'm done talking about my shop, let me talk about my Patreon, which, yes, is still kind of in development. It's all done. You can go on there, you can check everything out, you can see what kind of what's it called, to the tiers, benefits. You can see what kind of benefits each tier has. I just want to update the look. I still want it to focus on my art and my gaming, because I have to take a break from gaming right now anyway, just because too much is going on. But I do still want to focus on the gaming side, so I have to revamp how those two work together within my Patreon store. So there's that. If you guys are saying, yeah, I want to support you, but your Patreon is kind of like, like you need to get like better stuff, let me know down in the comments below what you suggest that I do with my Patreon, and I will work with you guys to get you guys to let you have the experience you want within my Patreon, and then I can work that into my schedule to work with you guys and everything, because I want to give you guys good things if you're going to help support me. That's what I'm asking for in exchange. If you help support me, I give you the experience that you want within what I can do, you know? Like I feel like this is a very good give and take sort of approach to getting the support that I need to make this my full-time career, which is something I would love to do. So go check out my Patreon. What else? There was something else that was in my head while I was talking, and now that I'm trying to focus on it, it's just all gone. Let's see. Myself, self-portrait, YouTube, Patreon, shops. What was it? I honestly can't remember. Okay, so we're getting into the last bit of details. Just making sure there's some very defined locks and within my hair. Gotta get all of those details in, because layering was like literally the style for this video. It was just layer upon layer upon layer, and these Arteza watercolors are actually really good for that. They're more opaque and sort of solid than most watercolors, but that works for this particular style. I think if I were going to do like a pet portrait or something, I would not use these. But for this particular time, especially since I was not expecting this to be as good as it did at all, these worked out perfect. It's really more of how you use your tools rather than what tools you have, in my experience. Like, yes, having the best watercolors imaginable would be great, but like, if they're too good, I don't want to use them. So here's the final reveal. I hope you guys liked this video as much as I did, and I will love to see you in the next video. Have a wonderful life.